right.
Rock and roll. We're on.
We're on.
Hi guys, glad you can be here today. As always, a pleasure. Happy Christmas season. Good fun topic tonight. Why can't you lose weight? Because people come to me all the time and say, Dr. Joe, I'm doing everything right. I'm not losing weight. We're going to talk about why. Well, things that may be happening you're not even aware of that are blocking your ability to lose weight. We have everybody, right? We have Facebook, Instagram, Stitcher, YouTube, your mom's house. She's not watching. We got Justin. Justin on the phone answering. We got a mod on the board.
I'm gonna go check on that cord.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll handle it.
Are you sure?
I don't know. It's the first time doing this. I don't know if I can handle it or not. It's a wise guy. Garrett's gone. Let's talk about him now. Never in a room without him now. First, oh, he's pointing at me, busted me. All right, here we go, kids.
I'm Bodie Brooks for News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Depend on it. The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. So glad you're there. Fun show tonight. Question I get a lot in the office. Been doing this now for 34 years now. One of the questions I get all the time is, Dr. Joe, I'm doing everything right and I can't lose weight. Anybody have that problem? Raise your hands. I know a lot of you do. I hear it all the time. Don't lie to me. And so people say, I don't know what to do. And so I have to sit down with the patients and we got to do an analysis on their lifestyle and try to find out what's wrong. What are we doing differently? And sometimes it could be medication, it could be lifestyle, it could be caloric intake, it could be a lot of different things. So what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss certain topics that might be going on. Because a lot of people come to me and say, Dr. Joe, I need the quick fix. How many people want that quick fix? I do. We all do. And they'll take diet and energy drinks or supplements, and they end up with problems. High blood pressure, kidney failure. I think I told the story last week. A friend of mine came in and he was, I don't know, 350, 375. And I didn't see him for a few years. Diabetic. I begged him and pleaded with him to lose weight. And he comes in my office the other day. And if he didn't speak, I wouldn't have known it was him. He looked like, built like me, I guess he was at 210. I'm about 185, but he looked great. And I said, what happened? He goes, well, I had my stomach stapled. And I said, okay, well, not a big fan of that, but okay, it worked. And he said, my diabetes gone. I said, yes, it worked. So they put him on a high protein diet. And now he's in stage 4 kidney failure. And he doesn't know what to do because they're saying we're going to have to put you on dialysis, we're going to have to take your kidneys out, maybe give you a kidney transplant. He had to tell his kids about it. Not a good situation. So he went from one problem, overweight, well, 2 problems, overweight and diabetic, to now skinny and stage 4 kidney failure. So losing weight for him was not good. I was going to say it might be his demise, but I doubt it will. Hopefully we'll fix his kidneys up and he'll be fine. So a lot of people do these things and then they have other problems. So why don't we just do it the right way? I always tell my patients when they come in the office is, listen, if we ever do something you're not happy with, tell us. Because we have to treat you anyway. We might as well treat you the way you're happy with. That's all I want to know. There's, 32 major techniques out there in chiropractic. And so we can change our techniques to modify your needs. You can do the same thing with weight loss. So if you correct a lot of these issues, then you start to lose weight. You keep the weight off. That's the key. And you're back to a happy life again. One thing, and I see this a lot, is prescription drugs and over-the-counter drugs. Beta blockers, antidepressants, anti-inflammatories, fibromyalgia, pain pills, seizure medication. Anybody take any of those? Raise your hands. A lot of you do. I know you do. Pre-diabetic drugs, injectable insulin. These common drugs can prevent weight loss regardless of how serious you are about changing your lifestyle and changing your diet. So you're on medication, and we'll talk a little bit about steroids in a little bit, the cortisol specifically, and you're trying to lose the weight, and you're taking steroids, and you're just blowing up like a balloon, and you don't know what to do. And that's a big issue. So if you're taking one of the drugs, and one of the side effects is weight gain, I want you to talk to your prescriber. Because many of these drugs can't be stopped. They need to be weaned off. So don't say, well, Dr. Joe, I read the thing on my pain meds, and it said it causes weight, and I'm going to stop it. Well, yeah, it might cause the pain to come back, but there could be side effects as well. So be very careful when you're taking medication to always talk to your prescriber or your pharmacist. One of my favorite sources of information is pharmacists because they understand the medication and the interaction sometimes where maybe a prescribing person may not get all that information. But talk to your prescribers, talk to your pharmacist, and find out if you can replace those medications with other medications where one of the side effects isn't weight gain. Sometimes it works. It's not a bad thing. But here's the thing. I want you to think about why you're taking these drugs to begin with. Why am I taking blood pressure medication, antidepressant medication, and seizure medication? And let's see if we can get to the cause of the problem so that you don't have to take the medication. There's a novel idea, isn't it? Treating the cause and not just the symptoms. I am not against you taking medication, believe me. And I'm not against you taking it to cover up symptoms. But if we can get to the cause of the problem and then you don't need the medication, that solves all the problems. You don't have to switch from one medication to another. Hopefully you can switch to no medications. And I don't think I've ever had a patient come to me in all the years I've been in practice, the 34 plus years I've been in practice, that a patient said, you know, doc, I think I want to take more medication. Is there any way I can somehow take more prescriptions or more over-the-counter medications? No, 100% of patients say, I want to get off the medications. And so that's what we do in our offices. We're a team of doctors, chiropractors. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. And we try to get to the cause of your problem and not just treat the symptoms. And most patients, when they do what we say, there's the key, you got to do what we say, come back and say, why didn't I do this sooner? So if we can get you off the medications, that's my goal. If you need a lifestyle guideline, I have a great book. It's called Prescription for Extreme Health. It's on my website, Dr.Joe.com. Great book is a guideline as to what to eat, nervous system, digestive system. We have a special chapter for athletes in there. But it's a good, simple, easy read. It's a lot of fun. We wrote it the way I do my lectures, real fast, you can't read fast, I guess, but fun, fast-paced, and it's in little compartments, so you can read a little bit at a time. And that's one of my books on the website. It's Prescription for Extreme Health on the website. So, failure to eat the right kind of fats can cause problems with weight. Now, when I say the right kind of fats, it's okay to eat some fats, but I want you to eat fats that are in the food form. What does that mean? Artichokes, olives, coconuts are a good source. Some nuts are okay too. But be careful, because what you're going to do is if you're going to start eating processed fats. Now, what's a processed fat? Even something like olive oil. That's a processed fat. Coconut oil. We'll talk about coconut oil as being one of the better ones to use because it has medium chain triglycerides, which actually burn as fuel better. But you want to try to eat whole food fats, because there are certain vitamins called A, D, E, and K. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, and they are absorbed through your fat. And so you have to absorb with fats. You have to make sure you have fat in your diet so you can absorb these things. So if you go on a totally fat-free diet, you may not be absorbing your vitamin A, D, E, and K. All right, so we're talking today reasons why you can't lose weight. What's blocking you from losing weight? A lot of good information coming up. Hey, do me a favor at the break. Tell your friends to tune in. My website, if you want more information, drjoe.com. Well over 1,000 hours of podcast there. My supplements are there. If you want to make an appointment to come see us, let's try to get to the cause of your healthcare problem. My website is drjoe.com. I'm going to open up the phone lines here at the studio. If you have a healthcare question, not just about weight loss, about anything, give us a call. 844-44-Dr.Joe, 844-44-DRJOE, and we'll see if we can get you on the air. That number, by the way, rings through to my offices when I'm not on the air. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Tell your friends about the show. We'll be right back.
We know how important.
You can send them in too, you know. You're allowed. Oh, we have one.
No, I was testing the audio.
Oh, is it working? It works. Yay!
Now I'm going to leave it up to you guys to make sure to remind me or let me know what the quality of the audio is for the callers when we go back, because I'll be switching to WSB's mainline audio.
Got it. Okay, that's you guys, not me. I can't help you. So, yes, but Garrett to the rescue. As always, yes, our knight in shining armor, Mr. Wonderful, comes through in a pinch again and solves the problem. We are going to get our own cord, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Now that I know what they're called.
Yes, okay. Phones are lighting up already.
Okay, so...
All right, social media. We got callers coming in. You guys got to battle them. See if you can get more questions.
Do you take Essential Source and Super Greens together, or is the Essential Source enough by itself?
I take them together. They both do different things. We're going to talk about them today. I take a scoop of each. I mix it with coconut milk, almond milk. My favorite is coconut milk. Or cold water. Shake it up and drink it. You can make a smoothie out of it. You can put it in foods. And in fact, one of Garrett's projects this year, he doesn't know this yet, is put together a cookbook on foods you can add Super Greens and Essential Source to and put it into your diet, not just smoothies. But
just for that, I'm...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm giving away some product
Oh, man.
tonight.
He always does this to me. Spends my money, man. Year-long blunt force trauma problem with a finger. What might you do? Okay, that's an easy question. I know I got to be careful what I say to Garrett. When I do, he gives you guys discounts. He's evil. He's evil like that.
Okay, here's one. I have no thyroid and have not had for 25 years.
Uh-huh.
Now I have RA.
Yep.
How will I ever lose weight?
Well, the thyroid, if you're taking your medication, which I'm assuming you have to be or else you'd be dead, you're taking your medication, make sure you check with your doctor, make sure the medication is right, balance it out. With the rheumatoid arthritis, that's an inflammatory disease. It's an autoimmune inflammatory disease. So what we need to do is get you on an anti-inflammatory diet, which, by the way, is also a weight loss diet. How simple is that? So you want to get off the bad foods, the 7 deadly sins: alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. You want to stay away from all the processed foods: breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, and pastas. All the processed oils, like we said, olive oil, anything that's a liquid. If you use a tiny, tiny bit here and there, like when I make a salad, I use a little bit, not the end of the world. But I know when I start eating processed oils, I start to put on the weight. So if we can get you on an anti-inflammatory diet, and get you on Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, which both have iodine in them, because you need iodine to produce thyroid hormones, and even though you're putting in an external source of thyroid hormones, you still need iodine. So, Super Greens Essential Source, adrenal support, because you don't have a thyroid, the adrenals and the thyroid feed off each other. Get on adrenal support, and then I would try nitric oxide. Nitric oxide opens up your blood vessels, and if we have time today, keep listening, I'm going to talk about foods that help you burn fat. I'll give you a preview. Spicy foods, artichokes, cinnamon, those are just a couple you want to add to your diet. And if you're still having trouble and the bowels are not moving 2 to 3 times a day, come January, end of January, right, Garrett? We'll have the intestinal cleanser back in?
Yep.
Okay. And if you need to jumpstart your diet, we have a doctor-supervised weight loss program. And we're going to talk about that today on the air, too. It's actually a program where we jumpstart you, get everything straightened out, get your diet straightened out for a couple of weeks, and then we push it from there. So if you want to jumpstart with the weight loss program, call the office, 844-44-Dr.Joe, and you can talk to Tara or Kayla, and they'll get you on that program.
Now, what are your thoughts on avocados?
I'm okay with avocados, but if I eat more than like a half or one a day, I put on weight. I mean, I'm one of these people that I tried the ketogenic diet, it didn't work for me. I had to just cut back my fats, not increase my fats. And I did well. So you kind of got to find out what your metabolism is and what works best for you. So I like avocados, and I'll eat them periodically, but I know if I eat too many, I just feel fat like instantly. So, what else? Any other questions?
No, but I'm gonna make an assumption about how you've stayed in shape as long as you have. Every time I see you eat something, it's never a lot.
That's a good point. Yes. I eat little amounts, and Garrett walk in my office, my salad per day.
Yeah.
Always makes fun of me. The heck is that smell? And it's apple cider vinegar, it's nutritional yeast. So that's my ginger dressings. Ginger's, by the way, one of the foods you could eat to help increase metabolism. But you're right, I don't do buffets. I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a real poor family, and we wanted to eat as much as we could. And the thing that broke me, my grandfather died, I remember years ago. I think I might have still been in high school or maybe in college. And afterwards, we went to what's called a repast, which is a dinner after the funeral. Oh, tell you the story later.
Completely in your control. Your health. Dr. Joe Esposito is on.
Bit of food, and that makes a difference, because one of the tricks you want to do for weight loss is make sure your body knows that you ate. What does that mean? There's a hormone in your stomach, and it's called leptin, and it's released in your stomach and also released from fat cells, and it goes into your blood and goes into your hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus says, I'm full. The hypothalamus reads that as being full. Now, one of the problems we have for fat people, and I used to be fat, so I can say the F word when I was a little kid, when you're fat produces leptin. Leptin is constantly bombarding the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus says, it's like the boy that cried wolf. Are you really full, or are you just, is it fat telling me you're full? So the hypothalamus becomes leptin resistant. It doesn't want to listen to leptin anymore because it's constantly being bombarded with leptin. So when you do eat, when you're fat, your stomach produces leptin, goes up to the brain says, here we go again, boy cried wolf. And so you don't feel full. So that's why fat people eat more food. I was at a shopping mall last night as a matter of fact, and they had a little cookie stand there. And the cookies smelled so good because they're very smart. They blow all the, their oven smells out into the thing. And there was about 10 or 15 people. It was a big crowd in front of the cookie stand. And I looked to the left, and I looked to the right, and there was that one skinny person in line. All the people there were overweight. Now, none of those people needed to be there. But what happens is when fat produces leptin, it goes to the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus become leptin resistant, you don't feel full, and you just want more. And is never enough. And then the sugar stimulates the nucleus accumbens in the brain, which releases dopamine, and you get high from it. So you don't feel full, you want to eat, you want to get high. Cookies are a great solution to that problem. So it's tough to break that cycle, and you break that cycle by breaking the cycle. And that sounds silly, but that's how it works. So we've got to be careful when we're overweight what we're putting in our body until we can reset the hypothalamus and the dopamine receptor sites and the nucleus accumbens. It's a lot of chemistry and anatomy there. And then you can be satisfied with just eating a little bit of food. And also, I'll tell you one of my tricks, and Garrett doesn't. I don't know if I've ever told Garrett this story. I'm a vegan. I've been a vegan for 33, 34 years now. And it helps. And the reason it helps is I can't eat anything that has animal products in it because I'm a vegan. So what has animal products in it, like eggs and butter and cheese? All the bad food, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas. I was at one of the big box stores the other day, and they were handing out samples. And I was with a friend of mine who is a vegan. And he said, ooh, samples. And one of them was a bread. And he looked at it, and he said, oh, we can eat this. It's vegan. And the other one had cheese in it. He goes, oh, we can't eat this. So what did that tell us? That told us that, okay, I can only eat half of the samples because it had cheese in it. So as a vegan, it limits a lot of the bad food too. So one little trick you can do for yourself is say, I'm not going to eat any animal products. Good for you from a health standpoint, but also a good way to avoid the bad foods. Now let's start taking some callers. If you have a question, 844-44 Dr. Joe. Neil, how can we make your day better? You sound great. I'm sure you look great too. Sure. Oh yeah, good book. I know it well. There you go. Well, you get a caller of the day, Neil. Let me tell you, that was great. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, sure. Sure. Good. Right. Okay. Good. Right. Sure. Sure. All right. Yeah, real quick. Yeah, we got about a minute and a half. Go. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Sure. Okay. Oh yeah, I know. Neil, I got. We're coming up against a hard break. I can't drag this one out. So okay. Great. Thanks so much, Neil. Thanks for your kind words. Yeah, folks, when you have a blunt, well, Neil, for your blunt force trauma, a couple of things I would do is we can go in there and actually adjust the finger. There's 206 bones in the body. We can adjust any one of them, including the finger. So if you had a blunt force trauma, chances are you jam that joint. So step number one, we'd have to adjust that joint to open up that joint space. Step number two, I would check the neck. You said it with the index finger. That tells me it's the sixth cervical nerve that controls that area. So I would check the sixth cervical nerve to see if there's a pinched nerve there, cutting off the nerve and blood supply to that area, slowing down the healing process. And then it sounds like you're on a good diet, which is great. You're taking super greens, things like essential source. These are all alkalizing nutrients, and so that's very good for you. So I would suggest if you're doing everything right chemically, it might be a physical problem. So if you want to come see us, Neil, just go to the website, drjoe.com, or the number 844-44-Dr.Joe, 844-44-DRJOE. That number rings through to my offices when I'm not on the air. We'd love to meet with you, and let's see if this is something we can help. And I tell people in the consultation, if it's something we can help, we'll tell you. If it's something we can't help, we'll tell you that too. So we're not going to lie to you. I don't want to waste your time. Don't want to waste mine either. Folks, got to go to a break. If you have a healthcare question, 844-44-Dr.Joe. The supplements Neil was talking about, super greens, essential source, adrenal support, digestive enzymes, all those are on the website, drjoe.com. And we have well over 1,000 hours of podcast, audio and video that you can observe and enjoy on the website too. Again, drjoe.com. Hey, don't tell your friends about the show. We're going to be right back.
Cold sore and works when you don't.
If you haven't tried this for cold sores, you're missing out.
Harpison L penetrates deep to treat cold sores.
It really works.
I don't like to waste things, so this was probably, I don't know, olive jar or salsa jar one day.
Hold on, I was testing this audio. I think I got it back.
Hey.
I gotta wait for the delay to hear if I did it.
Garrett's testing. Got it.
Got it to work.
Cool. Yeah, you guys are on a 7-second delay, by the way. So from the radio, you guys are not. Ooh, yeah. Uh-oh. They're both clapping. We have Justin, who's cheering for
We have really loud boos.
one team, and I know Ahmad's cheering for Pittsburgh, and so I don't know who's... They're both making noises over there, so I don't know what they're doing. So, any questions?
Yes.
Yes. Garrett's all by himself today, man. He's running 3 computers, man. God bless the guy.
I think I finally got
Yay.
all our drivers up to date.
Looks like we made it. Song before Garrett's time.
Good for your hands, finger joints. Is it good to pop your knuckles?
No. I keep reading studies. It's okay. It's safe. The more you pop something, the looser the joints can get, and the looser the joints get, the more it's going to be able to pop. And that's why people like crack their necks and crack their backs. That's not what we do in a chiropractic adjustment. We realign the joint, not just pop it and crack it. So I've read studies that say it's not good. I read studies it is good. I've known people that have cracked their knuckles for years, and it's never good. So my answer is no.
Now, what veggies are good for your heart?
All veggies are good for your heart. What do you want? You want cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. Those contain something called diindole methane, and diindole methane helps prevent testosterone from converting into estrogen. And testosterone is necessary not just for your sex drive, not just for your pecs and biceps and triceps, but your heart's a muscle, your colon's a muscle, your blood vessels are muscles. So cruciferous vegetables are great because of the diindole methane, which helps keep those testosterone levels high. Beets, arugula are high in nitrates, and nitrates convert to nitric oxide, or you can just take Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support, which is what I do. So that's good for you. Beets, of course, have iron in them. Yes?
I'm eating a lot of tangerines and bananas. Is this an okay combo?
It's a fine combo. Yeah, just be careful. Too much sugar might be an issue. So if you start noticing you're not losing weight or gaining weight or feeling a little shaky, you're probably just eating too much sugar. But other than that, you're fine.
Now, this is a question about fermented heme.
Yes.
The Beyond Burgers, the Impossible Burgers, really, I mean, without grabbing for any one name brand, a lot of these vegan proteins with fermented heme, what is your opinion?
Fermented heme. Like fermented iron?
I guess so. I didn't think you could ferment iron.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you'd ferment iron because it doesn't have bacteria in it. So I'm not sure. Not sure about that answer there. You got me on that one.
Well, within what is your point of view on a lot of these vegan protein?
I don't like the soy. The soy is I like the soy burgers and stuff. They taste fine, but they are really hard to digest. They can cause a lot of bloating and gas. I'm not a big fan of soy anyway. Some a little bit here and there is fine. In fact, I had a little tofu today. But all in all, if they're made with the pea protein, I think they're great. And I love the sausages. There's one that has the sausages, and they have regular, bratwurst, and spicy Italian. The spicy Italian is the only one I really like, but they're all good. So I'm really happy that they're making them soyless. And also Corn, Quorn, has veggie chicken patties. We can say brand names, right, on here?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, this is fine.
All right, that's right. It's my stuff. They have vegan chicken patties that I really like a lot. They do have breadcrumbs on them, but I have them at the office, and when it's an emergency, I can't get out to lunch, I'm starving, I'll pop a few in the toaster oven, and they just rock.
All right, now I'm gonna see if I can pronounce this word.
I got the bell. Let's see.
Introduce. Okay, so looks like there are a lot of different benefits for introducing glucosamine. Glucomannan. It's,
Glucomannan.
Glucomannan.
Ah, you don't
Okay.
get the bell. Sorry, no
This-
bell today for you.
Too many syllables. I'm good up until about 3 syllables, and then you lost me.
Don't confuse Garrett.
Konjac root. Or
Yes,
konjac root.
love konjac root, man.
So in the powdered form to the diet, as long as you drink a glass or 2 with it,
Yes.
studies show significant weight loss.
Absolutely. I like it a lot. Konjac root. In fact, they make a vegan shrimp out of konjac root, which is just off the chart. I make a wonderful shrimp scampi with that. Yeah, so the konjac root is great. It's kind of like a buzz thing that you can add to your diet. But once again, konjac root, that just like anything else, it's good if you do it in conjunction with a good diet. If you're not doing a good diet, you're not getting chiropractic care for the nervous system, you're not fixing your digestive system, you're not taking quality supplements, it's not the magic pill. It's great. Love konjac root, but it's not the end-all be-all.
What are your thoughts for being vegan over the holidays? What are you going to eat?
I've been vegan for 1986. Christmas Day is my anniversary, as a matter of fact. 1986, I had spare ribs. And I'm not going to lie to you. They were good. Okay, they were very tasty. 1986, last time I had meat, spare ribs. Why can't you be vegan over the holidays? I mean, I've been a vegan every holiday since, and it's perfectly fine.
We're doing a vegan beef Wellington.
Ooh, that sounds yum.
Mhm.
Okay,
Normally
great.
we do just like a roasted cauliflower,
Yeah,
like a
uh-huh.
turkey. Baste it with like a mushroom gravy.
Right.
This time we're doing something a little different.
Getting really crazy out there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Phyllo dough and everything, huh?
Uh-huh.
Gonna get crazy? That sounds like a winner.
I'm not getting. Sierra's the one doing it all. That's why
Okay,
she's
your
not
girlfriend?
here.
Okay, that's why. Oh, she's not here. She's cooking for you. Oh, great! You stole my Sierra from me now.
But then what they also do, her family, she's part Mexican, so
Mhm.
they do tamales over Christmas, and then they have them on Christmas Day.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
Her dad has the best joke ever. It's
Can you say it on the air?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he says it's so the Mexicans have something to open on Christmas morning. I thought, it was a great way to break the ice with me. That was one of the first jokes I ever heard
Oh, that's
from him.
great. Yeah, all right. Loosen up. Yeah.
But yeah, he's very funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, so she's making traditional hand, like all made from scratch, but she's using jackfruit instead of pork.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How cool is that? There you go.
I'm excited.
You're
We're gonna
excited. I'm
freeze
excited.
a ton of them, and
I'm excited for you.
you'll probably get a handful.
I wouldn't mind that. I will always take vegan food. Yes. I am. I'm a mooch when it comes to that. So. Well, this year we made marinara sauce for everybody,
Mhm.
and Garrett got his marinara sauce. My buddy is in from California, Johnny, and so first day he got in, we made these massive pots, 3 massive pots of marinara sauce, and jarred them and canned them, and everybody got some. Ahmad got some, and Garrett got some, and the whole staff got some, and we're almost out. Johnny's getting worried.
You already gave out. He made like 100.
It wasn't 100. It was 38, 40, something like that. Yeah. Well, we got a big staff. We have to give them to everybody, Had to give them to the bosses here at the studio. Had to schmooze the bosses a little bit. All right, coming back soon. Any questions?
Too bad we can't hear the questions on the video feed. Well, you just wait.
Garrett's going to fix that.
I just did.
Oh, you did fix it? Okay. Let us know. We have a caller come in. Let us know if it's not working. Send us a message because Garrett assumes it is. We hear it, but we need you guys to help us out on this. See, when you're social media watchers, you become part of the show.
With news on the hour, the half, and when it breaks, I'm Bodie Brooks for News 95.5 at AM 750 WSB. Depend on it.
at WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. So glad you could join us. We're having fun today. We're talking about what's blocking you from losing weight. And a lot of people come to me and say, Dr. Joe, I'm doing everything right, and I don't know what it is. And the thing is that Garrett and I were talking off the air. Garrett's one of my producers if you haven't met him yet. And say hi, Garrett.
Hey, everybody.
There you go. That's Garrett. So we were talking about that, and he said he was doing some research on this show, because we always research the shows beforehand. And he said one of the problems is that no matter what, because it's confusing, isn't it? There's high protein, there's low protein, there's high fat, there's low fat, there's plant-based, there's bowel stimulators, you take these supplements, it's supposed to help. All of that's all well and good, but the problem is most people just don't do it. If you're going to do it, you got to follow all the rules. Like everybody talks about the ketogenic diet. Well, Dr. Joe, what do you think about the ketogenic diet? And Garrett says that weird, by the way. He doesn't know how to say ketogenic. Or maybe it's ketogenic. Can I hear you?
Ketogenic?
Ketogenic. It's not ketogenic, I think. I don't know. That's how I say it. I don't know. Garrett and I can disagree on that. But anyway, the ketogenic diet, and if you say, well, I'm going to have a cheat day. Well, you can't have a cheat day, because the whole point is the body stops using glucose as its primary fuel and switches over to ketones. And if you start throwing a sugar here and there, the body says, woohoo, sugar, let's store that as fat. We haven't had that in a while. So you can't cheat. So you got to do it or not do it. And that's the nice thing. At our office, we do a doctor-supervised weight loss program. So if you're interested in that, we get you started out by getting the body loaded up with nutrients to help with a lot of those cravings, because everybody has those sugar cravings. We work on getting the bowels working properly. That's real important too. You got food in should mean food out. You ever watch a baby, they eat, and you're amazed, like, where did that all come from? Well, food in should mean food out, but in most people it doesn't mean that. So we get the metabolism working. We put in some thermogenic supplements to help start the metabolizing. And then what we do is we got to get your brain reset. Because we talked earlier about the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus gets leptin from fat and from the stomach, and that's when it knows it's full. But if you're constantly bombarding the hypothalamus with leptin, well, then the hypothalamus doesn't listen to you anymore. And so we got to get the hypothalamus reset. We got to get the nucleus accumbens where the dopamine receptor sites are, so you don't get so much pleasure out of the sugar. And there's a supplement, and it's funny, whenever I say it, people come in the office and say, what was that supplement you said? It's called Gymnema. And we have it at the office. If not, we can always order it. It takes a day or two to come in. And it's not one of my supplements. It's another company that makes it. But the Gymnema, if you chew one of the tablets, and it doesn't taste very good, but that's not the point. When you chew it and then try eating sugar, it has absolutely no flavor whatsoever. So you can eat the sweetest thing in the world, take a Gymnema tablet, chew it, then you try eating it, and go, this doesn't taste good, I'm not going to eat it anymore. So that's another way we can help trick your brain. But once again, it's just part of a plan. The ultimate plan is a normally functioning nervous system, a normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition. That's the ultimate healthcare plan. And that's what we do in our offices. From a chiropractic standpoint, we check the nervous system. Then we check the digestive system. Maybe you have acid reflux or heartburn. You're not digesting your food properly. When I can't stop eating, and I know it, I'm eating, and I say, I just ate enough. I should be full. I still want to eat. I have to get my stomach adjusted. We pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm, and then I'm assuming that helps the leptin production. I've never read research on this because no big company is going to spend millions of dollars to research it, but it works amazingly for me and all my patients that I've ever worked on, that suddenly you go, oh, you know what? I don't feel hungry anymore. So it's kind of cool. So if you have the acid reflux, that might be a problem. So anyway, a lot of information on the website, drjoe.com. This show is going to be on the website tomorrow in case you want to listen to it over and over again. Tell your friends about it. We have well over 1,000 hours of podcasts there. So what other things might you be doing? Now, a lot of people, especially bodybuilders, they got to take their whey protein. I got to get my protein, doc. Without my protein, I can't build muscle. Well, guess what? Too much protein puts stress on your kidneys and your liver. And I'm seeing a ton of patients with kidney failure now, where 35 years ago, I didn't see that. I see it all the time now. And a lot of that, I believe, is due to either diabetes, insulin resistance, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and a high-protein diet. Your body only needs about 8% of its total caloric intake as protein. Anything beyond that is wasted, and it has to get filtered out. So it goes through the kidneys and the liver, and too much protein in the kidneys can irritate the kidneys and cause the cells to die. And then you go into kidney failure. So be very, very, very careful about high-protein diets. I am not a fan in any way, shape, or form. And the easiest form of protein to digest is plant protein. Animal protein is much harder to digest than plant protein. So if you're going to eat a lot of protein, which you shouldn't, make sure it's a plant-based. But this whey protein thing, I've seen people have whey protein shakes, and I got to have my whey protein. It's so good. It's healthy for exercise, muscle growth, etc. Whey protein has a peculiar capacity. it can increase insulin levels dramatically. Now, insulin is released from your pancreas, and it goes into the cells and opens the cells up and lets sugar in. So that's what insulin does. It kind of is a key to open up the cells to let the sugar in. And if you produce too much insulin, the cells say, I can't open up and let any more sugar in. I'm not going to listen to you anymore, and you become insulin resistant. So whey protein can stimulate insulin production. And about 20% of people, it can completely shut down any hope of weight loss. So here you are doing dairy products or whey protein shakes or, these high protein shakes thinking you're doing something good. And in about 20% of the people, it has this insulin reaction. And you're saying, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, Doc. I'm taking my protein shakes and I'm working out and I'm eating right. It's just not working. So what you have to do is this. I want you to eliminate all dairy, which you should do anyway. I'm not a fan of dairy. I haven't had dairy in well over 30 years. You shouldn't either. But if you're trying to do this and you can't figure out why you're not losing weight, eliminate all your dairy for about 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. If you lose, 4, 5, 8, 10 pounds, then you have this problem. And then you need to cut out dairy for the rest of your life. Or, here's another opinion, just cut out dairy for the rest of your life. Because there's steroids and hormones and chemicals and pesticides that I'm not a big fan of in dairy. But if you're going to do dairy, make sure it's organic only. I don't want you doing anything unless it's organic dairy because you can avoid a lot of those chemicals. If you live in a state where you can buy raw dairy, that's what I'd recommend. Now, well, what about the bacteria in it? Well, I don't like that either, but the raw food, once you pasteurize it, it changes the molecular structure. It kills the bacteria, but changes the molecular structure as well to make it harder to digest. It takes the casein and binds it to the rennin, and we don't have the enzyme to break down the rennin. To break down the casein. Rennin breaks down casein. So the casein binds to the calcium. Rennin isn't there to break it down, and then we have trouble with allergies. So really, I would say cut out the dairy altogether and see if you lose the weight. And if you do, well, then just cut it out. But once again, I don't have to worry about using that because I use things like coconut milk, almond milk. There's hemp milk. There's chia seed milk. There's so many different types of milk now that you really don't have to worry about cow's milk. And what's interesting is the trend now in farming is that dairy farmers are shutting down left and right. They're going out of business like crazy because people are realizing, gosh, I have a reaction to milk. It's a number one food allergen. I'm not a big fan of it. I can go to the coconut milk, the almond milk, and I don't have the reaction there. So a lot of people are giving up the dairy products. And dairy farmers are going out of business. What a lot of them are doing now is they're switching over to becoming produce farmers, which I think is good, especially if it's organic. I like that. Folks, got to go to break. When we come back, we can talk about iron deficiency, hypothyroidism. What is a net carb? Not something you catch. It's a net carb. And a lot of other things we're going to discuss on why you're not losing weight. What's blocking you from losing weight? Hey, if you have a healthcare question, give us a call at the studio, 844-44-Dr.Joe, 844-44-DRJOE. My website, 24 hours a day, drjoe.com. If you want to make an appointment to come see us, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. We would love to be your doctors. So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, if you've ever been in a car accident, ever, if the car was damaged, you were damaged, you need to come see us, whether it was 50 years ago or yesterday. The sooner you get to us, the better. So if it happens, get on the phone, 844-44-Dr.Joe, or my website, drjoe.com, and make an appointment for you, your friends, and your family. We want to get you well and keep you well. Folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Shoulder pain, headaches. Chances are you'd benefit from chiropractic care. Most people benefit from chiropractic care because chiropractic care tries to get to the cause of your problems and not just cover up the symptoms. If you're ready to get well, I want you to go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-Dr.Joe and make an appointment for you, your friends, and your family today. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
You know how a house is built from the ground up. It starts with a strong foundation, but it becomes a...
He's trying to watch the football game they're all excited about over there. Any questions, Mr. G?
Tons of questions.
Go ahead.
Let's start with, been feeling really nauseated and tired with abdominal pain, which I believe is trapped gas. Could this be from reintroducing yogurt to my diet?
Yes. A lot of women get that way if they see me, like if we go on a date or something. No, nauseous gas. Yes, it could be from the dairy, because I'm not a fan of dairy, of yogurt, first of all, because what they do is when you, they put the probiotics in the yogurt, and then as soon as they pasteurize it, a lot of those probiotics are killed anyway. And if it's dairy products, we just talked about the casein, the whey, it's not a good idea. So let's do this. Let's cut out the yogurt, all dairy products, 4 weeks. See what happens. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I lied. But I'm not wrong. So.
Now,
Yes.
do you drink kombucha, and is it good for weight loss?
I do drink kombucha, not a lot though, because I'm just not part of my life. It's okay. I like it. If I have it, I'll drink it. Absolutely. It might help with weight loss a little bit. I don't think it's really for weight loss. It's part of a good diet, and that's good for weight loss. But I wouldn't say kombucha is good for weight loss. No. Still has sugar in it.
What would be kind of the benefit of, what is the benefit of kombucha?
Well, it's fermented, so it has a lot of probiotics, which we're going to cover today too. And probiotics are awesome. But again, Lindsay Lohan, she got called before a judge a while ago, and she said, I wasn't drinking, Your Honor. I was drinking kombucha, which has alcohol in it, and all the kombucha in the country had to be pulled off the shelves. I can't imagine how much that cost. And now it has to be pasteurized, just like yogurt. So a lot of the benefits are not there. Now, if you want to make your own kombucha, very easy to make. It's tea with something called a SCOBY. It looks like a mushroom. Oh, they're making faces in there. I don't know what they're yelling about. It's football. Oh, we can't see it. Ahmad looks upset. So you can make your own kombucha if you want to. Just get a SCOBY and just make your own. It's a lot cheaper. Then you can do whatever you want with it. So. I want to go watch. I want to play the football game. No, I don't know what they're even watching over there. So. Uh-oh, he's doing something with the camera. I don't know what he's doing.
Let's see if I cannot make fun of these guys.
There you go. Oh, look at him. Ooh. He's stressing. He's stressing. I don't even know what's going on, but Ahmad looks stressed, doesn't he? Handsome guy, isn't he, Ahmad? If you've never met him, he's a good-looking guy. But he's a Steelers fan. I know the Steelers are playing. And Justin is not a Steelers fan, so I don't know what they're watching over there. So, all right, back to the show. Sorry about that. Drifted away.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's see who else has some questions in here. Do PPIs cause muscle spasms?
They can, yes, because they prevent you from absorbing calcium, magnesium, and B12 and iron. PPIs are proton pump inhibitors. When people have acid reflux, they take those to shut down the acid production. So the answer is absolutely positively yes.
And if I was 40 years old, imagine, 6 foot tall, and weighed 308 pounds,
Yes.
how many calories would you tell me to eat to lose weight?
Nothing. You got plenty of store. You're fine. You got plenty reserved. I would tell you to get on a really high nutritional diet. Because when you're hungry, you're not hungry for food, you're hungry for nutrients. Mm-hmm. So super greens, essential source, nitric oxide, B complex, adrenal support, vitamin D, of course, everybody needs to be on. And I would be taking that every single day. And when you do, you have to reset your brain. We talked about that earlier. And once you reset the brain, you'll start to lose weight like crazy. So you don't need to eat any more food. You got plenty of energy. You just need nutrients. So Facebook, Instagram.
And Sierra is watching while making vegan tamales.
Hi, Sierra. Glad you could be with us today, at least in spirit. All right, you'll come back soon.
And there was a follow-up question for Kim. What do you guys do for Christmas?
Me?
Yeah.
What do? I'm going to see my mom. And so my family makes normal Christmas dinner, like what average people would eat. And I just have whatever's floating around, salad or beans or, green beans or I'm fine. I'm not there for the food. I'm there for the family. Okay? I eat wonderful food every meal, every day. I don't have to go somewhere and celebrate food. I want to celebrate family.
Good point.
He would be the Brad Pitt of radio. That's why you listen. Dr. Joe Esposito on WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. Glad you're there because we're talking about why you can't lose weight. We're discussing the little things, a lot of little and big things that can be blocking you from losing weight. And sometimes it's something so innocent. It might be the medication you're taking. We just talked about 20% of people have an insulin reaction to whey protein. And so when they give up dairy products, they start to lose weight. Personally, I got to cut back processed fats. If I want to lose weight, I can eat whole foods, not the store, but the foods, and I just can't use a lot of processed fats, and that's how I lose weight. So everybody's a little different. And I do want to talk about iron deficiency and hypothyroidism, but before we leave the dairy issue, we do have a call here. Oh, by the way, if you have a question, give us a call, 844-44-Dr.Joe. Mike, how can we make your day better?
Yeah, I wanted to know what you thought about goat's milk.
Goat's milk is a little easier to digest than cow's milk because it's closer in molecular structure to human milk. So it's a little better than cow's milk, But once it's pasteurized, it depends what the goat eats. And so it's not ideal. I shouldn't say it's better. How about it's not as bad? So if you're going to have to pick one, pick goat's milk, but I would prefer you choose no milk, and you do a lot better there. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I thought I lost him there for a second. If you have a question, folks, lines are open, 844-44-Dr. Joe, and Justin's in there ready for your calls. And Ahmad's ready to make me sound good. Yes, as he always does. Right, Ahmad?
You make my job very easy.
Oh, isn't that a nice compliment there? Gee, see? I don't even pay him. So
I feel like he's sucking up.
You think he's sucking up? Yeah. What's he up to?
Well, I did get a nice Christmas present, so thank you.
Okay, you're welcome there. There you go. So, that's why. See, I got to be nice to him first. Okay, now I understand. I get how the game is played now. Okay, so no, it's so wonderful working here, folks. It's so great. We're having Garrett and Ahmad and Justin here, and it's just such a great place to work. And again, makes my job easy too. So we're talking today about weight loss and what's stopping you, what's blocking you from losing weight. You got to talk about iron deficiency and hypothyroidism when you come to these topics. So many people, raise your hands. You may be too tired to do this. Low energy, fatigue, tired all the time, depends what you want to call it. Maybe some lab tests are off. You feel generally awful, low mood, continue to lose weight, and you have your thyroid test done, and the thyroid test comes back normal. Well, it may not be thyroid. I mean, people, it must be my thyroid. I have a thyroid condition. That's why I'm fat. I said, no, you have a fork-to-mouth condition. That's why you're fat. And I used to be fat, so I can say that, by the way. So you can't say, don't make fun of fat people. I'm one of them. It may be that you just don't have enough iodine. And so many people have an iodine deficiency because we don't eat food with iodine. What's the one food you would think about that has iodine in it? Well, salt, iodized sea salt, or iodized salt. But that's only a little thyroid. It's iodine. It's enough to prevent goiter, but it's not enough to solve health issues. And so one of the amazing things about Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source is we put sea vegetables in there. Now, you don't taste them, but it's a great source of iodine. And I take Super Greens and Essential Source every day, so I have absolutely no concerns about getting enough iodine in my diet. And you should. And if you don't live near the coast and eat a lot of seafood, which I don't anyway, the further in we go into the heartland, so to speak, of here in the United States, people are fatter. Well, they usually eat more dairy products and more grains and things like that too. But one of the issues that could be a player here is the iodine. That's why we decided to iodize salt, because people in the heart of the country were getting these goiters. I'm thinking, how can we get iodine into everybody's diet? What's one thing everybody eats? Oh, salt. That's a good idea. So Super Greens and Essential Source, just an excellent source of iodine. And when people start taking it, many times, it takes a while to get the body working again. They'll say, Dr. Joe, what is in that stuff? I feel so great when I take Super Greens and Essential Source. Well, you're giving your body nutrients. And that's the key. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for food, you're hungry for nutrition. And when you take things like Super Greens and Essential Source, that just blows it out of the park. I can't imagine a day without having this. Whenever I travel, I take it with me. It's a powder. It's two powders. I just mix them together, put it in a bag, carry it on plane. Never been stopped about the Super Greens and the Essential Source. I get stopped for my books. When I carry my books, they'll take the books and search them for some reason. I don't know why. It's just weird. I guess people hide things in books, but I don't. But iodine deficiency is huge, and also iron deficiency is huge. And guess what? Super Greens and Essential Source are high in what? Iron. But it's a non-heme iron. There's two types of iron. Heme iron comes from animals, heme, like hemoglobin, and non-heme iron comes from plants. Well, where do you think the animals get the heme, the heme in their blood? They get it from plants. They take the non-heme iron and convert it into heme. So you can do that too, by the way. And like I said, I've been plant-based for 30 plus years now. I've never had a problem. Every time I give blood, they go, oh my gosh, your blood is so rich. It's so red. It flows so smoothly. I always get a comment on my blood because they're not used to seeing normal blood. They see average blood, but not normal blood. So with Super Greens, the Essential Source, aside from, I could list, probably, I've got to make a list one day of all the benefits of it, but it gives you iodine and iron, and it's non-heme. The heme iron can be a problem trying to detoxify from your blood. That can be an issue, and it may come from an animal that's been toxic, may have heavy metals in it. So that's why I like getting my iron from plant sources. Much better to do it that way. Now, gentlemen, you got to listen up to this one. And ladies that are postmenopausal, it's a good idea to donate blood. And the reason is if too much iron builds up in your blood, it can actually start to oxidize and cause irritation of the artery walls, which could lay down cholesterol. We did a show on that a couple of weeks ago. And that can be a problem. So, gentlemen, I do strongly recommend that you donate blood not every chance you can, but as often. And ladies, it's a good idea if you're postmenopausal because you're not losing blood every month. It's a good idea to donate blood as well. It makes you feel good. Now, don't eat the cookies. You go there, ooh, free cookies, free cakes. Ooh, no. Bring your own food. Bring some fruit. Bring some super greens and essential source. When I go, I always take an extra serving of super greens and essential source. Donate my blood. Chuck it down. It's just amazing how good you feel. And it's good to just recycle. I mean, you get the old blood out, make some new blood in. And I remember years ago, I used to work with this marketing company called Doctors Chiropractic Exchange. And one of our commercials, we talked about leeches. And we got a call from North Carolina from a leech company. And that they now are using leeches again in medicine. When they have to like reattach a limb or an ear or something, they'll put the leech there because the saliva prevents blood from clotting. And so the leech now is coming back into fashion again to allow the body to heal so it doesn't clot around wounds. But bloodletting was a thing that was done in ancient times. And then we thought, oh, that's so barbaric. Well, maybe not. There might have been some benefits to that. And again, a lot of the old ways we treated things, we understood how it worked. We just didn't know why it worked. And now we know why, and that's the beauty of things like chiropractic and nutrition. Folks, got to go to a break. If you have a healthcare question, 844-44-Dr.Joe. My website, if you want to order supplements, super greens, essential source, nitric oxide, enzyme support. We're going to talk about that. Adrenal support when we come back. Adrenal support is on deck. I'm going to explain to you why it's so important to add supplements to your diet. And if you want to make an appointment for chiropractic care, go to my website, drjoe.com, or dial 844-44-Dr.Joe. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. We'll be right back.
Marvel Universe Live.
Okay, Banky, 8 o'clock. We got to do our liners too. Don't forget. So.
Yep. And there are a ton of questions.
All these people with their questions and their questions. If we don't get to your question, you can always go to the website, make an appointment, come see us. We're more than happy to meet with you, drjoe.com or 844-44-Dr.Joe. So we've got a lot of calls coming in here too. All right, Mr. G, go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to gain weight, and you need to do a show on this.
Okay. And that's it? That's the question? Okay.
It. So, I think at some point we could do like an opposite of like how to get more tone.
Sure.
Certain exercises to increase the efficiency of your workout.
Absolutely. Now, ladies, you may be surprised. All this, no steroids. All natural. I know it's a shock. Garrett's laughing.
So the person that asks actually said that they're 5'6" and they weigh about 96 pounds. They're way underweight, and no one has an answer.
I do. We have to do our liners first. Hold on. Ready? I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and this week we're talking about what's blocking you from losing weight. No, hold on. Cancel that. I didn't like that one. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and this week we're answering the question, what's blocking you from losing weight? We're going to discuss things that you may not be thinking about as to why you're not losing weight. Dr. Joe Esposito here. This week on my show, we'll be discussing things that may be blocking you from losing weight and then giving you some suggestions on what to do about it. Hey, we're answering the question, what's blocking you from losing weight? And we're going to give you suggestions on what you can do to speed up the weight loss product. Not yet. Hey, we're talking about what's blocking you from losing weight, and we're going to give you suggestions on what to do about it this week on the Dr. Joe Esposito Show. Okay. All right. A couple of things when it comes to weight loss. Number one, we have to check your digestive system. If you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, you may not be absorbing your nutrients.
Adding weight.
Adding weight. Adding weight. That's what I mean. You may not be absorbing your nutrients. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about one of my patients who had a lung transplant, and she couldn't gain weight for the life of her. And we sat down and had this conversation you and I are having right now, and she put on the pounds, and she's so happy. No iodine in super greens. Of course there's iodine in super greens. So what I did is I want you to have at least an avocado, probably 2 a day. I want you to start eating a lot more nuts, not peanuts, but almonds, walnuts, pecans, pistachios. So I want you to make a lot of your diet consist of avocados and nuts, and you'll probably start putting on weight. And then fix your stomach. If you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, come see us so we can fix the physical, and then we'll get you on the chemical, and it should work fine.
Now when it comes to the nuts, should They go salted, unsalted, lightly salted.
Unsalted raw, if you can do them. Roasted, I like the flavor better, to be honest. But raw is better than roasted, and unsalted is better than salted.
Cool.
What else?
Does your office work with Anthem? I think we do actually have a couple of patients with Anthem Healthcare.
There's so many different policies. If you call the office, call tomorrow. In fact, in the morning, Meredith will be there. 84444 Dr. Joe, and you can ask her or Damon that question. They know those answers. Because there's so many different policies within policies, but I'm pretty sure we'd work with Anthem, yeah. Anthem Blue Cross, yes. We work with some of the policies. The ones that we don't, sometimes there's out-of-network benefits. It's so confusing. So call first, and we'll answer those questions for you.
Now, can you speak on thyroid issues?
Yes.
Specifically, goiters.
Yes. Whenever an organ isn't working right, what it's supposed to be doing, it gets bigger. A heart, pancreas, spleen. So the thyroid is getting bigger because it's not working the way it should. So one of the things we always look at with that is we start looking at iodine. Because with iodine is the way the body makes the thyroid hormones, T1, T2, T3, and T4. There's Renee, we got to wave goodbye to Renee. And so the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 mean how many molecules of iodine there are. So many times with a goiter, you got to get on good source of iodine, like Super Green's an essential source. Then from chiropractic standpoint, we check the nerve supply to the thyroid to make sure it's working properly. And then we actually have thyroid supplements we can get you on as well, specifically for that. But you got to get the chiropractic, you got to get the supplements, you got to do the diet, you got to do it all.
Now, what about trying to lose weight with Hashimoto's?
Oh, once again, it's an autoimmune disease, so we got to get you on an anti-inflammatory diet. We got to fix your gut, because every autoimmune patient I've ever seen in the history of my career has digestive problems. And so we get you on a very anti-inflammatory diet, no wheat, no dairy. We fix the stomach, adjust the ileocecal valve. And once we start doing that, we bring down the inflammation, take the stress off the immune system, and in most cases it works great. And what I find with people with autoimmune diseases, we get them on Dr. Joe's enzyme support. And one of my patients has been doing prescription enzymes because she had a lung transplant, and she started taking them. She goes, "Oh my God, it's like the greatest thing in the world. For the first time in my life, I can go to the bathroom normally. I'm feeling better. I'm starting to put on some pounds." She was really excited about that. So,
I think I can answer this next one.
Go ahead.
At least the way you would. Off all of the milk substitutes, what's your take on all the milk substitutes? What's your take on the best? Almond, soy, or coconut?
Coconut.
The one on sale?
The one on sale is my usual answer. Yeah, Garrett knows. If you say, which one do you drink? The one on sale. I like coconut the best, but if almond milk is on sale, I'll buy almond milk that day. I'm not a big fan of soy, though. So.
And now, do I get to see you if I make an appointment?
Usually, if you want to make your first visit, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. You need to make an appointment in Marietta. I usually see new patients Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, that being said, next Friday, I got to go cover Eric Von Hessler's show here. So the answer is yes, and then we work with the other doctors as well. So I don't take on your whole case, but my doctors and I will manage your case together. So the answer is yes, if you come to Marietta. And then you can go to the other offices after that if you want. So.
Okay, iodine and blood tests. Is iodine normally included in a CBC test?
Nope.
Or is it a separate test request?
You probably got to request it separately, yeah.
What should I request?
Iodine. And there's, it may not be a good test anyway, because again, we talked about the thyroid test, it may come back negative. So I just recommend taking the iodine. You need it anyway. If you're not taking it, you need to take it. If you are taking it, you probably don't need it.
She's coming up on her 1-year vegan anniversary and is going to get a blood test this week.
Perfect. Oh, you should be very happy.
And said that you were great on the Dr. Oz segment.
Oh, thank you. In case you didn't see it, last Wednesday we were on Dr. Oz. It was a blast. It's on my website. Is it on the website yet? The Oz link? The Oz clip?
No, the Oz clip is not, but we have a clip running on social media right now.
Okay, Facebook and Instagram. So go to my page on Facebook and Instagram. You can see it. Oz are buddies now, man. He called in the show the other day, and
actually, I'm going to have that segment up of Dr. Oz talking to everybody in the studio this coming week.
Oh, good. So we're going to post that. Dr. Oz called into Eric Von Hessler's show, and I was a guest, and we had a 20-minute love fest. It was great. So, and he invited me back, which is great. So hopefully become a regular on the Oz show. Got to fly to New York. I'll be right back. But it was a lot of fun. And hopefully Good Morning America this year, too. We're shooting for Good Morning America. We should be able to get on that as well this year. So. And I say follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You already do. So do this for me. Share this. Share the show. Share the links with all your friends. We got to get our followers up. So. Yes. it's
WSB
As you
News
come
Time
back
at
into
8:05.
this,
Now let's check in on the roads. Jill
turn
Nelson
that
is
down.
in the WSB 20.
As you come back into this next segment, we have the question about a guy that did, somebody that did the ketogenic diet, lost 10 pounds for 4 weeks, and then went back to a plant-based diet and gained 15 pounds back.
We're going to talk about that.
So,
what about questions? You can do ketogenic and plant-based, by the way. Just cut out the carbs, really. That's kind of like the plant-based version. Cut out the processed carbs. Because plant-based is plants. Different than vegan. Vegan is like brownies and cookies and cakes and donuts if you want it. Plant-based is not. Long break today.
I'm Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz with the latest, most accurate and dependable weather forecast. Gradual clearing sky as we head through this evening, becoming partly cloudy overnight. And by Monday morning, down to 36. Partly cloudy early Monday, becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon with a high of 53. Will be cool and
55 right now.
Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day starts near freezing, 32 in the morning. Tuesday's high 55 with a mostly sunny sky.
Freezing.
Partly cloudy Wednesday, low 40, high 58.
54 degrees on Peachtree Street at 8:06 with news on the hour, the half, and when it breaks. I'm Bodie Brooks for News
Here we go.
95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Depend on it. The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. So glad you're there. We're talking today about what's blocking you from losing weight. And this is a big issue because some people say, well, Doc, I'm doing everything right. I don't understand it. And you'll be amazed at some of the things that some people have issues with. We talked about dairy products, medications, insulin resistance, and before the break, we started talking about iron deficiency and hypothyroidism. And sometimes the blood work comes back and it says your thyroid is fine, but people still have an issue. Now, thyroid may be fine, but we need to make sure we're getting enough iodine in the body. You also have to look at adrenal glands and fatigue. We'll do a whole section on that coming up. But the adrenal glands are little glands. They sit on top of your kidneys, and they can be involved too. The pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, and the adrenals create like an axis, and they go off each other. One feeds the other, feeds the other. And so if one of the glands isn't working, your thyroid may come back okay, but maybe it's your adrenal glands. So if you have bags under the eyes, chances are your adrenals are shot. If you're tired all the time, could be an adrenal problem. I take Dr. Joe's adrenal support every single day. You probably should too, especially if you're over 30 and or if you have a lot of stress in your life. And when I say stress, chemical, mental, and physical stress. So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, it's a stress. How many people are in pain right now? Raise your hands. That's a stress on the body. And the adrenal glands are producing prostaglandins to moderate the inflammation, and then the adrenal glands are putting out adrenaline, and so you can burn out, metaphorically speaking, the adrenal glands. And so that's why I take Super Greens Essential Source for iodine as well as all the other nutrients and adrenal support every day too. So you probably want to consider that, and a lot of people take it and they just love it. They feel great. I was talking to a friend of mine. I had lunch with him, and he was talking about the nitric oxide support, which opens up your blood vessels. And he said, I couldn't sleep the other day, and then I realized I took that he didn't say darn, nitric oxide support. And I said, yeah, it opens up your blood vessels and increases circulation. And he says, yeah, I felt great. I was wide awake, but I was wide awake. And he says, I love it before I go to the gym. He says, I get such a better workout. I feel stronger. I have more energy. I'm motivated. So nitric oxide opens up your blood vessels, not just to your muscles and your blood vessels to your heart and your digestive system. How about, we'll keep it clean, your reproductive organs. Gentlemen and ladies, you need to have good circulation to your reproductive organs, and nitric oxide helps with that. High blood pressure. Nitric oxide can open up the blood vessels and help drop some of the blood pressure issues that people have. So nitric oxide is wonderful brain function. It opens up the blood supply to the brain. So it's another supplement you might want to consider taking as well. And I have to say this, everybody needs vitamin D. Because vitamin D, if from the time the summer starts to come to an end until spring when it starts getting really warm, the earth is on an angle. You're not getting the proper UVB rays from the sun. And vitamin D is so important, especially around cold and flu season, because it helps the immune system. It helps build healthy bones. It helps, we're finding it on so many different levels where vitamin D is now involved. And so I take vitamin D every day as well. I take about 5 drops every day. That's 5,000 international units. Now, if you're sick, you can take 50,000 international units. So that's 1,000, I guess 50 drops, right? 50,000, yeah. And you could take that every day for 3 days and then cut back to 5,000. Don't do that long term. But the vitamin D is just crazy. And people say, Dr. Joe, you're never sick. How come you're never sick? Well, I work real hard at not getting sick. I take Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster, which is herbs that help stimulate white blood cell production. I take the vitamin D. I take the super greens, the essential source. I take nutritional yeast every day. Nutritional yeast has a beta-glucan in it that helps stimulate the immune system. I stay away from all processed sugars, especially in the winter. Well, I stay away from all the time. Make sure you're getting enough rest. So it's work to not get sick. But you know what? That little bit of work that you put in is well worth it when you're not out for a week or two. Let's take a few more callers. Ross, how can we make your day better?
Hey, Dr. Joe, happy holidays to you and your staff. Thanks for taking my call again.
Thank you, Ross.
Hey, man, I got another question about fasting, if I may, Dr. Joe, please.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, real quick. Hey, man, I was wondering, once you go on 2 weeks, say just a water fast, 2-week water fast, would that entail the body cannibalizing the cholesterol and the blockages and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can go, I mean, in a perfect world, 40 days without food. Jesus did it. A lot of the great religious leaders do it. But you have to be in a state of rest. You have to be meditating. You have to be praying, if that's what you do, and drinking water. So you don't want to go 40 days and not do that. But if you do a week or two on water, again, make sure you're getting lots of rest. A lot of things clear up in the body. Yeah, fasting is the end-all, be-all when it comes to a lot of diseases, including colds and flu. So I'm a big fan of fasting. Absolutely, yes.
Thanks, Dr. Joe.
All right, Ross, appreciate the call. All right, folks, this is Dr. Joe Esposito. The number here at the studio, 844-44-Dr. Joe. Joy, hang on, because I'm going to have to go to a break pretty soon. When I come back, I'll get to your question about iodine and super greens. So we're talking today about things that are blocking you from losing weight. Why are you stuck? And we'll cover adrenals in a little bit. I want to talk about something called net carbs. So people talk about carbs. You got to go on a low-carb diet, low-carb diet. You actually got to go on a low net carb diet. So what does that mean? You take the amount of carbs that you eat. Let's say something has 10 grams of carbs in it. But then you subtract the fiber. So let's assume something has 5 grams of fiber in it. So that 10-gram food now has a net carb of 5. So you take the carbs minus the fiber, that's the net carbs. So if you're eating something that's high in fiber, like fruits and vegetables, some nuts and seeds, that's awesome. And then it's going to help push the fiber, or bind to a lot of the carbs, push it through the colon. And so fiber is going to be the key here to making sure the body works properly. And that's why every day you want to make sure you're getting at least one meal that's a salad. I mean, a salad, avocado, greens, broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados. You want to make sure you're getting your raw food in there. And, of course, the super greens and the essential source. Minimum supplements you should take every day. What are they? Super greens, essential source. And in the winter, you want to add vitamin D. All of those are on the website, drjoe.com. If you want to make an appointment, come see us. Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain. Ever been in a car accident? If the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. Go to my website, drjoe.com. You can make an appointment. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in the Atlanta area. Or call, when I'm not on the air, 844-44-Dr. Joe. Hey, tell your friends about the show. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We'll be right back.
If you're like most people, you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, headaches. Maybe it's time to stop suffering and it's time to take action. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, why don't you come see me and my team of doctors and let's see if you have a problem that we can help. Go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-Dr. Joe to make an appointment today, because so many of you are out there suffering needlessly, and we want to put a stop to that. Come see us at our offices in Marietta, Stockbridge, and Duluth. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
Are you?
Hi, Mr. G. You got me.
Let's see here. Cashews are okay?
In small amounts, yeah. Nuts, again, can put on weight for you, but cashews are fine, yeah.
Let's see what's going on Instagram.
Yeah, you haven't been over here for a while. Garrett's trying to run all 3 social media platforms here, so he's been busy.
No questions yet, but we did just go down on Instagram and it came back
that's right,
about 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
All right. I do have a question on YouTube. What do you think about Ezekiel bread?
It's sprouted. It's still a lot of carbs. It's probably not as bad as regular bread, but everybody says that. What about bread? What about bread? Sorry, folks. There is no good answer for that one. I wish there was, but there isn't.
Now, this other person, shoulder keeps popping out of place.
Yes.
So go to a chiropractor, have it put back in, and then within weeks, it pops right back out.
Okay.
Is that a fault of a stretched tendon?
Sounds that way, yes. So what we need to do then is get you on a whole nutritional protocol to try to tighten up that tendon. So
Nutrition will tighten that?
Yeah, there's certain supplements. In fact, there's animal-based supplements that might work well for that. That you might want to consider if you're not vegan. There are some animal-based products that seem to work pretty well for that. But also, if you're getting your shoulder put back in, you got to get the neck put back in. You have to build up the muscles around it to hold it in place too. So if you want to come see us, again, I'm never here to steal you from another doctor. Please understand, I never want to take you away from another doctor.
Yeah, at the very least, have your doctor call us.
Sure, we could do that, or we can do a second opinion. But one of our doctors, Dr. Irwin specifically, is really, really good with sports injuries. So.
And you got to thank you for the Ezekiel bread, but also wanted to know what's the best salad dressing? What is your favorite or your best?
In my book, Eating Right for the Health of It, we have a whole chapter on nothing but salad dressings. So get that book. It's going to answer a lot of your questions. I like a ginger salad dressing. I'll just take apple cider vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, some water, some ginger, puree ginger. I puree ginger up. I just made a big batch of it yesterday. And I put it in an ice cube tray and freeze it. So I've got these 2 big bags of ginger ice cubes now. And I'll throw some of that in there, and that's what I love. And then I add nutritional yeast to it. Bam.
I'm 50 years old. What's the best multivitamin?
Dr. Joe's Essential Source.
And then please talk a little bit more about Hashimoto's and why it's hard to lose weight.
Well, again, the thyroid gland controls a lot of metabolism, so that's why we have to get you on an anti-inflammatory diet to get the thyroid working more efficiently. So the thyroid gland controls the metabolism. The thyroid isn't working when the immune system is attacking the thyroid, so it's not able to produce the right amount of hormones. And so now we start having these weight issues. So getting on anti-inflammatory diet. What do you want to do? You want to get on an anti-inflammatory diet. What do you got to do? Anti-inflammatory diet.
So enzymes help with that too, though, correct?
Digestive enzymes. Dr. Joe's, excuse me, digestive enzymes. Super Greens Essential Source, digestive enzymes, vitamin D, no wheat, no dairy, none of the 7 deadly sins, a salad at least once a day, eating a lot less food is going to help tremendously, eating a lot of vegetables, and you should be a lot better.
So what would be the worst food for an anti-inflammatory diet?
Oh, probably
what
wheat.
What should you really stay away from?
Dairy and wheat. Dairy number 1, wheat number 2. Because those are the 2 big inflammatory foods. And of course, there's alcohol, it dehydrates your body. So, and alcohol stimulates your dopamine receptor sites. That's why you get drunk, you get high, you get stupid, you feel great. Then you come off and you crash because you don't have enough dopamine. And then you have real problems, and that's a hangover and depression and mood swings and so.
This person says, I've tried the Super Greens but can't handle the taste. What can I do? Actually, if you'll check out our Instagram and our Facebook, we've got a couple recipes that come out. I believe we do one every week.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, we do smoothies with it. I mix the Super Greens, the Essential Source together. The Super Greens, I agree with you, it's a little strong. So I take a scoop of each, and then I mix it up with some coconut milk and drink it, or make a smoothie out of it. Yeah, but I mix the 2 together. I'm with you. The Super Greens is strong. Extremely good, but strong.
And I tried a lot of the smoothie recipes we have. They do take a while. Like, it's a lot more effort than just throwing it in with some coconut milk or something of the sort. So all I ever do if I'm really trying to make something that tastes good is just banana.
Yeah, banana frozen or not. And we also have mint Super Greens. That's for people like you. The mint Super Greens, we kind of cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
United States.
You can get that on the website, drjoe.com.
Now, on News 95.5 and AM 750, WSB.
Hey folks, this is Dr. Joe. Glad you could be here today. We're talking today about things that are blocking you from losing weight. And we got a lot to cover here, but I know Joy's been on hold for a while, so let's go back to Joy. Joy, how can we make your day better?
Hey, Dr. Joe, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I had an abnormal thyroid test a while back, and the only thing I could figure is iodine because I don't eat processed food.
Yes.
And so I was really happy to see your Super Greens had like 85% or whatever.
Yes.
And then they had the new flavor, the mint.
Right.
And I just looked one day and I thought, oh, wait a minute, where's the iodine? It's not on here.
Right.
So I wondered, she said that I had the year to take it out because it made the mint flavor made it taste bad.
No. The iodine is still there. It's just a little less in there because we add some dried coconut milk powder, and we add mint flavor to it. So that kind of cuts that green flavor. So it's a little less iodine, but it still has the wheatgrass, barley grass, alfalfa grass, which is not iodine sources.
So
but
it's just not listed on the label.
Okay. Yeah, it's still there. Trust me.
But it's still there. And also on the essential source, I don't see it listed, but is it there also?
Yeah, because what it is, it's part of a sea vegetable. So it's not added iodine. It's part of a sea vegetable.
I understand. It's just part of it that you get from eating it.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Well, that's what I need to know. Thank you so much.
Glad you're enjoying the Super Greens and Essential Source. Keep taking them.
I'm enjoying both of them.
Thanks,
All
Joy.
right.
Appreciate
Thanks
the call.
a lot.
Yeah, folks, if you're not taking Super Greens and Essential Source, I don't know. You're just not part of the cool kids because so many people take it. We send it all over the world, actually. And it's just amazing. And I've tried, the reason I came up with these is I was trying, fruit and vegetable powders. I was trying green powders. And like the one caller called earlier, I couldn't find one I was really thrilled about. And so when I formulated the Dr. Joe Super Greens and Essential Source, I'm just excited as heck about them. And I take them every day. And just, it's awesome. And if you can give them to kids, if you can make a smoothie with them and throw a frozen banana in there and tell the kids it's ice cream until they're smart enough to figure out you're lying to them. And it's just, they're awesome. So that's the minimum amount of nutrients you need every single day. And we get calls literally every day. Literally, I'm saying literally a lot. God, I sound like a valley girl here,
Literally.
Literally, I sound like a valley girl. Yeah. Is that a thing in your generation, valley girls? Was that you know what that is?
No. You're talking about like...
Oh, my God. Ahmad, help.
Southern California?
Save me.
Yeah, like it was California, basically, right?
Yeah, the California girls would be like, dude, like, wow.
As if.
As if, yeah. So that was, at least Ahmad got it. Some of the younger generation don't get it. So
I dated one of those.
Valley girl?
Yeah.
Okay, see? That's
Bi-coastal.
Bi-coastal. That's
I spent a lot of time in Southern California.
I like Southern California, actually. I'm just afraid it's going to sink one day, and that's going to be it.
Really good vegan food over there.
Oh, my God. Isn't it great?
Oh, it's awesome.
Every time I go to L.A., my buddy Johnny is like, eat this, eat this, eat this. Now, Johnny, my stomach is only so big. Well, we got to try one more thing. And it's one dessert place. And stop already. So volume is a sin, yes. That's right. Where were we? What are we talking about? Where were we? You lost me now.
We are talking today about why it's so hard to lose weight.
Yes, exactly. By the way, I didn't mention this. Garrett just reminded me. We do have a doctor-supervised weight loss program that we do at our office. And what that is we get you on a super high concentration of nutrients, and it's a short-term thing. And for a few weeks, and then once we kind of get you jump-started, then we work on the second phase, which is keeping you at that level.
Kind of like training wheels.
Like training wheels, right. We put you right. We get you jump-started, and then we kind of take one wheel off and let you go a little bit at a time. And people like it because they have the support of our team there. And so so many people say, I want to lose weight, but I just don't know how. So we kind of hold your hand, and we say, this is what you do today, this is what you do tomorrow, these are the foods you could eat. And it's not starving. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. You have to just live this lifestyle. And when you do, you'll save so much money. You'll feel so much better, in most cases. You most likely lose weight. You'll have more energy. You'll sleep better. Love life improves. Brain clarity is just like off the chart. And you think, like most people say, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I suffer for so long being either overweight or neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain? We're a team of chiropractors in Atlanta area. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. And every day people come in and say, why didn't I do this sooner? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know why you didn't do it sooner. And so when you come in too, by the way, be prepared to do what we say. It's not hard, but if you don't follow our advice, chances are you're not going to get the results you want. And then I don't want you bad-mouthing us saying, well, it didn't work. It only doesn't work if it doesn't help everybody. Of course, we can't heal all the world's problems. But if you follow our advice, the chances are really good. You'll get some very good results. So if you didn't get the results, you probably didn't do what we said. And it's not hard. We get you on a dietary program. We talk about diet. We talk about supplements. And we discuss digestion, if you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating. We have to actually adjust your stomach, pull your stomach down away from the diaphragm. All right, so this is going to be an interesting call. William, how can we make your day better?
Yes, Dr. Joe, I'm kind of like you. I'm a veteran researcher, and a couple of things have popped up. Checked on the internet with coffee.
Uh-huh.
There's a massive study in Europe, 520,000 people, different...
okay, got to hurry up here. Okay, got 2 minutes.
Everything, and they determined that drinking 3 to 5 cups of coffee daily increased the lifespan of people in that study anywhere from 3 to 8 years. Believe it or not.
My first question whenever I read a study is who paid for it.
Because
it was not done by pharmaceutical companies, I can assure you.
Okay, well, many
and
times.
The one at Stanford University was 120,000 people, multiple origins, ethnic origins. They determined that basically the same thing, but that even drinking 1 cup of coffee a day did extend lifespan somewhat.
Okay. Well, I've read the exact opposite in other studies. So
I have too.
Yeah, you have too. So that's the thing is I always want to follow the money, who paid for it, and sometimes you trace it down and who sponsored it at this college and who did this. And so I'm not saying I know the side effects of coffee. I know the detrimental side effects. It's an acid. It robs the body of calcium. It speeds up the aging process. So once again, I can't defend this study or contradict this study because I don't know enough information about this study. But I promise you,
just check it out.
Yeah, well, if you look on the internet, I'm sure you can find a study that contradicts everything I've said, and you can find millions of studies that agree with what I say. So I know the research, and if I thought coffee was good for me, I'd be drinking it every single day. Trust me. Okay? Thanks, William. I appreciate it. And that's the thing is I can have any food I want. I can receive any health care I want. And the treatment I choose is chiropractic care. I want to make sure my nervous system is working properly because the nervous system controls everything. And knowing what I know on how the body works, chiropractic care is always going to be part of my healthcare regimen. I want to make sure my digestive system is working. If I have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, I want to check to see if I need to adjust or pull the stomach away from the diaphragm. And then again, I could take any supplements I want in the world, and I've created the ones that I feel are the best. Dr. Joe Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source. If you're drinking coffee for energy, it could be, we've covered this many times in the past, that your brain is not working properly and your brain is trying to make you rest and you're needing to jumpstart it with caffeine. So I would take adrenal support, Dr. Joe's B complex, digestive enzymes if you're not absorbing your nutrients properly. So my question is, why are you drinking the coffee? And then what can you do to not drink the coffee and get even better results? We know that people that eat a plant-based diet live the longest by far. So, folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. If you have a healthcare question, 844-44-Dr. Joe. My website, if you want to order supplements, make an appointment, come see us. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. We want to be your doctors. Go to my website. You can make an appointment right now or call us when we're not on the air at 844-44-Dr. Joe. We'll be right back.
Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic. Anywhere you go on 95.
All right. Man, hour and a half gone already.
I know.
It's crazy, isn't it? One thing bad about this show, it speeds up our lives.
Yeah, one thing that I really enjoy about you, and kind of like, I guess what makes me a believer, is you don't necessarily research any one thing and find something that agrees with you, or research something that doesn't agree with you and try to argue the differences. It's rather you separate every individual thing out and try to identify what food, what drink, what exercise, what habit has what effect.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that, and I do, and I thank you for recognizing that. Because again, as my sidekick here, I want to make sure that you're understanding and sold on what we're doing. And I do. I try to look at it. And if there's a study that says something, I say, okay, well, who funded it? What does it say? What other studies have I read on those topics? And what's my opinion? My educated opinion is going to say, okay, this. Okay, this is the thing that really makes sense. So that's why with coffee, it does have antioxidants, no doubt about it. There are some benefits, but there's also negative side effects. And you can get all the benefits from something else without the negative side effects.
Just like red wine.
It's like red wine, exactly. So, more questions for me, for you?
Of course.
You answer them.
Is there a danger having a belt band on your stomach?
Yes, absolutely. Not a big fan of them. My mother had one. And what she found was she lost weight, but then she realized certain foods wouldn't go down her stomach. Things like meats and breads, which made me happy. But then she realized things like ice cream and cakes, if you chew them up real well, were able to slip through the band. And so if you have the belt band, you still have to change your diet and change your lifestyle. But here's the thing. If you change your diet and your lifestyle, you don't need the belt band. So it's called lap band, actually. So, yeah. So that's the kicker. Is that, if you do this along with a good diet, then you'll lose weight. Well, if you just do a good diet, you don't need to do this dramatic thing. And there is the risk of any type of surgery is a risk. So.
Now, do you know enough about restless leg syndrome to say what you can do about it?
Sure. I always check the nerves in the low back, pinch nerves in the low back, because that's the nerve supply that goes into the leg. You got to check that. Then you got to check magnesium and calcium. Make sure you're getting enough magnesium and calcium in the body. And usually that solves the problem. And if it doesn't, then we got to dig a little deeper. Could be like a reflex sympathetic dystrophy maybe affecting it, but it's usually a pinched nerve in the low back and a dietary issue. Almost always.
Now, as far as sleep is concerned, how many hours do you recommend? How many do you actually get?
Got 9 last night. That's awesome. 7, most people do well with 7 to 8. We did a show on it not long ago on sleep. If you go to the website, drjoe.com, we got over 1,000 hours of podcast there. And we did a show on that specifically. But 7 to 8 is like the Goldilocks zone. If you do too much, it can increase risk of heart disease. And too little can increase risk of heart disease and mental confusion and other issues. So that's my secret. And if you adjust the stomach, many times that helps you break proteins into amino acids to produce neurotransmitters to help you sleep. So a lot of people with acid reflux have trouble sleeping.
I've been reading a lot about napping. That some of the most successful people in the world were nappers.
Oh, yeah.
They'd sleep for 5 or 6 hours, start early in the morning, about 6 a.m., work through till about lunch, take a 2-hour nap, and then get back right on it.
Yeah, that's a different way of functioning. I do good with little naps, little 10-minute naps. I'm okay with that. Sometimes at lunch, if I sneak home or something, I may fall out. I got this great black chair I fell asleep in. Yeah, but I don't mind a quick nap like that. Yeah.
So you don't eat fish? No, he does not eat fish.
No.
Not even a little.
Not
even a cube of cheese. I tried.
You tried, man. They all try. They never get me. I have people ask my friends, has he ever cheated? Not once.
I doubt I will ever cheat again myself.
Good. Well, I'm Italian. I was taught you make a commitment, you do it. There's no maybes. There's no what ifs like, dude, I flaked. Oh, I was raised. You say you're going to do something, you do it. You're going to be somewhere at 2 o'clock, you're there at 2 o'clock. There's no question. I can't understand. Like, what do you mean? You said you were going to do it, you didn't. I don't get it. So, anyway.
What are your thoughts on collagen?
Not a big fan because collagen is a place where animals can store heavy metals, like lead. And so that's why I'm not a big fan of like collagen products because they can store lead. If you're going to do any type of animal product, you want to make sure it's organic.
How much do you know about blood work in the prostate?
Lots. What do you want to know?
Somebody's brother-in-law just got a 4.5.
Ooh, a little high, yeah. A couple of things with the prostate. It sits right next to the bowels, so you want to make sure the bowels are moving constantly. Any type of constipation can put pressure on the bowel, on the prostate. So if there's any type of constipation, real soon we're going to have Dr. Joe's intestinal cleanser out. We have another product, by the way. We should actually start pushing the standard process one. They have a version that's good. I don't think it's as good as ours, but it's a good holdover until we get the product back in. Okay. Bowels have to be moving easily, at least twice a day. So that's really important. And you can adjust the nerve supply in the low back that goes to the bowels. You can adjust the stomach and the ileocecal valve and then take some supplements to get it moving. As men get older, we don't use our prostate as much as we used to, trying to keep it clean. So one of the things you can do as you get older is try to use your prostate more. It really does help. And then there is things like saw palmetto that can help make sure it's a high quality saw palmetto. We have some at our office. It's not a Dr. Joe product, but it's very good. But check the nerve to the prostate, bowels, use of the prostate, and then supplements for the prostate.
That's it for now.
Good. Excellent. Would super greens an essential source go against another doctor's advice? I don't know. I don't know what the other doctor's advice is. I'll find out when we go to Daniel when we come back. What else we got to cover today? We got to cover. Oh man, we got a lot to cover. The 3-hour show was fun, actually. We got a lot in 3 hours. 2 hours, we seemed like run out of time. Last week we covered for Eric von Hessler, and we got 3 hours in. Yeah.
Now, as hard as coffee is to give up, and how it affects how does it actually affect the adrenals?
It causes the adrenals to pump out more adrenaline, and eventually can burn out the adrenals. So that's why I'm concerned about that.
Making you even more tired.
Exactly right. So it has a reverse effect. That's why you drink 1 cup, then you have to do 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And affect the adenosine receptor sites in the brain, and so that's a whole nother lecture on coffee. We can do it if you want. I got too much covered here.
Brant's got a nitpick for you.
You what?
Brant's got a nitpick for you.
Give me a nitpick.
Smile.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. I can smile more. I'm a happy guy. When you watch the Dr. Oz thing, the camera turns to me. I'm like, they said, make sure you smile. I was like, Primary funding source for the Euro study, European Commission doctorate. General for Health and Consumers and International Agency for Research on Cancer. Okay.
Does your product compare to Juice Plus? Hardly.
I like to think of it as Juice Plus on steroids.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less expensive. I like Juice Plus though.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. So glad you're with us today. We're talking today about what's blocking you from losing weight. A really big topic here, and we're getting a lot of calls and a lot of people coming in off the air. Sleep is going to be a big issue. And it's really important that you get enough sleep because that's when the body rests. That's when the brain cleans itself up. It stores memories. And one of the things we find when people can't sleep is that they have trouble remembering things. And you think you're tired, but in reality, to keep it simple, your brain goes through what happened in the day and then files it away when you're sleeping. And so if you're not getting into that deep sleep, usually around 6 or 7 hours minimum, 7 to 8 is ideal, you're gonna have memory issues as well. And one of the reasons people can't sleep, and I see this all the time, is they say, Dr. Joe, I have acid reflux or I have heartburn. Well, your stomach sits below your diaphragm. When you're standing up, gravity is pulling the stomach down. When you lay down, you don't have gravity assisting. So when you lay back, the stomach pushes up against the diaphragm, and food can reflux up into the esophagus, and that can prevent your diaphragm from dropping down when you're sleeping, so you're not breathing properly, and you have sleep apnea. Now, it's not the only cause of sleep apnea, but many times that's the key. Also, from a chiropractic standpoint, we look at the fourth cervical nerve. The fourth cervical nerve, that's where the phrenic nerve comes out of the spine and goes down into the diaphragm and makes the diaphragm work. So if you have the stomach up against the diaphragm and you're sleeping with your head twisted, pinching the phrenic nerve, that can affect diaphragmatic function, and that can prevent you from sleeping properly. So a lot of patients, when they come in our offices, they might come in for neck pain or headaches or numbness or tingling or car accident injuries, and we start adjusting them, and we fix their spine and their stomach, and they say, Dr. Joe, I'm sleeping so much better. Well, we unpinch the nerve going to the diaphragm. Because from a chiropractic standpoint, organs are controlled by nerves. So if you have a pinched nerve, you might have pain, but 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. So you can have a pinched nerve and not know it. And for in our offices, we check the nerves that feel pain and we check the nerves that don't feel pain. And if there's an issue, a fixation, a blockage, we try to fix everything on the patient. And we always check the stomach as well if we need to work on that. So sleep is really, really, really important. And inadequate sleep can affect the metabolic function. It can raise what's called your cortisol levels, and that can increase your appetite, and that could make you eat more. So from there, let's jump into cortisol and adrenal function. Now, stress and adrenal function, I kind of put these two together because they're usually one and the same. If you're under stress, financial stress, work stress, relationship stress, physical stress, chemical stress, you're eating bad foods, you're in a toxic environment, metaphorically or actually in a toxic environment, this can cause stress. And when your body's under stress, the body releases a chemical called cortisol, and it's released from the adrenal glands. Now, cortisol is a steroid hormone, so it's really not any different from taking anti-inflammatory drugs, like prednisone, that can cause, it shuts down your immune system, which can make you sick, but it also makes you hungry. And it's really hard to lose weight if you're on a steroid hormone. So if you're freed from the stress, you take the adrenal stress off, the cortisol goes back to normal again, but that's one of the toughest issues I run into to resolve. Because first of all, we have to find out where the stress is coming from. Is it chemical? Is it emotional? Is it physical? So from a chiropractic standpoint, we always look at the physical aspects. Is there neck pain, back pain, bones out of place, shoulder dislocated? Is there a foot bone out of place, a finger that can be misaligned? So our team of doctors, we always check the body best we can for all 206 if we don't have to, but we can if we need to. And then we want to put all those bones back in place, take the pressure off the nerves, and that can help the physical stress. Then we look at the chemical stress. Are you eating the standard American diet? What's this? What's that? SAD, the standard American diet? It's the SAD diet. Are you eating things like alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas? The answer is probably yes. And that's chemical stress. So we do a nutritional workup with our patients and we say, okay, let's look at your diet. Let's give you some suggestions. And the suggestions we give are real easy things. Like if you're eating a beef burrito, maybe have a bean burrito. And maybe instead of having a wrap around the burrito, maybe have a bowl. Oh, that's easy stuff. I can do that. Exactly. All the advice we give is real simple, real easy, real user-friendly. And then we put together a nutrition protocol. Because if your body doesn't have the minimum amount of nutrients that it requires, it can lead to other problems like stress. So we usually start people out with super greens and essential source, the minimum amount of nutrients we need in most cases. Then, if you're under a lot of stress, if you're over 30, I'd probably recommend adrenal support. If it's wintertime, I'd recommend Dr. Joe's vitamin D. And that's on, all these are on the website, drjoe.com. And then I'll look to see if you're eating a lot of cooked food. So, for example, a patient might come in and they might be following an Indian diet, from India. And the Indian diet traditionally is a lot of cooked foods. So many times if you're eating a lot of cooked foods, I'll say, let's get you on Dr. Joe's enzyme support. Because the enzymes help break down food so you can absorb your nutrients more efficiently. And then if somebody has a circulatory issue, if they're getting older, I may recommend nitric oxide to open up their blood supply. If you've been on antibiotics, if you're eating a lot of things that have antibiotics in them, like commercial meats and dairy products, I may recommend Dr. Joe's probiotics. Probiotics are good bacteria that help get into the colon, help your immune system, and help your digestive system. So it really depends what your specific needs are as to what supplements I might recommend. So if you go to my website, drjoe.com, you can see the supplements and what they do. And you can say, well, all right, Dr. Joe said super greens an essential source. Let's start there. Maybe I do need probiotics. Maybe I do need adrenal support. Well, gosh, I definitely need the vitamin D because everyone needs that if you're not getting sunlight. So now you can put together a protocol. We can help you as well. We do have a doctor-assisted weight loss program. If you want to jumpstart your weight loss, because that's what we're kind of talking about today. If you want to jumpstart the weight loss, you can call the office, talk to either Tara or Kayla, and they can put you on the weight loss protocol. But here's the thing, folks. You got to do it. We haven't figured out a way to do this over the phone yet. So if you're going to say, I'm going to commit myself to do it, I'm going to do it. And then once you get off the bad foods and you can actually reset your brain and your cravings, then you say, this is the lifestyle I want. It's so much cheaper than anything you're doing right now. It's so much easier than anything you're doing right now. And the results, in most cases, are just off the chart. And you'll say, what? You've listened to the show before. Why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I suffer for so long? And my answer is always, I don't know. I don't know why you're suffering so long. But we got to address the mental stress. Sometimes that's hard. I don't know. I don't know how to fix a relationship problem. But if I can fix the physical stress and I can help you with the chemical stress, and then we fix the digestive stress, guess what? That the emotional stress many times is a lot easier to deal with, and you're thinking clearer. And then you can make better decisions. And that helps you with weight loss. You know what? I'm so stressed out. I don't care. I deserve a brownie today. I think I deserve a cupcake today. Those donuts, today's the day. Tomorrow I'm going to start on this. Sounds like you? Once you start making better decisions, get your body healthy, you'll be amazed. Another reason you may not be losing weight is because of bacteria in your colon. And if you have bad bacteria, it's called dysbiosis, that can be a problem as well. So if you've taken antibiotics, if you're eating a lot of meats and dairy products that have commercial antibiotics in it, that can be a problem. If you're swimming in a chlorine swimming pool, that can kill off some of the probiotics and the good bacteria in your colon as well. And so I come back and talk a little bit more about adrenal support and then dysbiosis, bacteria in your colon. Do me a favor, if you have a healthcare question, last segment, give me a call at 844-44-Dr.Joe, 844-44-DRJOE. My website is drjoe.com if you want to make an appointment to come see us. Do you have neck pain, back pain, headaches? If you've ever been in a car accident, ever. If the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. The sooner you get to us, the better. But stop suffering. Most people are suffering needlessly, so stop suffering. Let's get you well and keep you well. If you want to order supplements, make an appointment, listen to the podcast, drjoe.com or 844-44-Dr.Joe. We'll be right back.
Chances are you'd benefit from chiropractic care. Most people benefit from chiropractic care because chiropractic care tries to get to the cause of your problems and not just cover up the symptoms. If you're ready to get well, I want you to go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-Dr.Joe and make an appointment for you, your friends, and your family today. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
Happy holidays. This is Tom DiGregorio from AquaGuard Foundation Solutions. Well, here we are again. The year has flown.
That makes sense then, yeah. All right, last segment. If you don't get your questions, you mind making an appointment to come see us. Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, digestive issues, nutritional. Go to website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-Dr.Joe. There, because I know we have a lot of people waiting for questions. I'm not going to get to all of them. I know that. So.
And one that you can go ahead and get to is, do you eat quinoa?
Sometimes, yes. I like it. Like it a lot.
Quinoa is, what, isn't it one of your favorite grains?
Yeah, I like it better than white rice, although I like the flavor of white rice. But yeah, I don't do a lot of grains, so it's like it's not something I do very often. Like my friend Johnny just made gluten-free pasta the other day, and it was great, but I ate like a little bowl, and I felt heavy, and I thought, why am I doing this? Garrett bouncing from camera to camera to camera to camera.
What did you eat today?
What did I eat today? Let me see. Did have some pasta. Johnny made. It was very good. Went out for Chinese food. My buddy Tim. So we had stir-fried veggies, a little bit of tofu. It's okay. It was good, but I like the veggies.
No MSG?
No MSG. Well, I'm sorry, the soy sauce had some MSG in it because they can't process that out. Had that. I had Super Greens, an essential source, of course. I did have a salad today. I think that was it. Yeah, I don't eat a lot. So.
Well, do you do adjustments with the nutrition plan, or do you do them separate?
We try to do them together because I always find nervous system, digestive system, nutrition is the plan you need. So we try to do them together if we can, yes. Some people don't want nutrition, so we just give them chiropractic. Some people insanely just want nutrition and not chiropractic, which I always try to convince them they need it, and I test them. And if they have a problem, most people go, yeah, you're right, Dr. Joe, let's just do this right and get it over with. So.
Now, is it a good idea to get pink Himalayan sea salt in every day for its minerals?
You don't have to do it every day, but it should be the only salt that you use. Yeah, it's not something you have to do every day, but like Super Greens, an essential source is an everyday thing. Yeah. Oh.
And you do what? You do dried sea salt?
Yeah, I don't know. The wet sea salt is kind of hard. You got to scoop it in. It's, you know. A wise guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I oughta.
Let me go back through and make sure I didn't miss anybody.
Okay.
Where can I buy your enzyme support? On our website.
Doctorjoe.com, yes. Or in any of our offices. We carry them in all our offices, and you'll save shipping if you come to our offices. We like that.
Not Dr. Joe. J-O-W. Dr. Joe.
J-O-W. Joe. Dr. Joe. Or Joe. Would it be? No, that may be J-O-E. Joe. Toe. T-O-W. Yeah, okay. I know, Garrett. Poor guy's so busy over there, trying to go through all these questions you guys have.
Turning 37, it's starting to get harder and harder to lose weight.
Yeah, welcome aboard, cowboy.
Now, if you could go over one last time what the anti-inflammatory diet would be, because we did get a lot of questions about Hashimoto's.
Okay, stay away from the 7 deadly sins: alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener. In fact, go to my website, drjoe.com, watch the video on the 7 deadly sins of nutrition, and then we have a follow-up video, it's an audio actually, called So What Can I Eat? And that's going to give you what not to eat and what to eat, and that's the anti-inflammatory diet. And then, of course, Super Greens, an essential source to alkalize the system, adrenal support to help produce prostaglandins to decrease the inflammation.
Now, if you have fatty liver disease,
yeah,
what is a good course of action?
Everything I just said. The liver is the fastest healing organ in the body, so as soon as you stop putting junk in, the liver starts to heal. And I would probably, the nitric oxide I would add to that as well to open up and increase circulation to the liver. But no meats, no dairy products, no alcohol, sugar, dairy, soda, coffee, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, and pastas. And the nice part is it heals pretty quickly. In most cases. Let's put my disclaimer in there.
I wonder if Google just thinks I'm that much of a party animal or not, but I've been getting advertisements for this new place that does IVs. So you pay for an IV treatment after spending a night out drinking.
Oh yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
In Vegas, they've got trucks that go around and do that.
Listen to Dr. Joe Esposito every week on WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. This is the last segment of the show, so if you're just tuning in,
an amazing show. But the good news is we're going to take this show and, gosh, well over 1,000 other shows, and it's on the website. It'll be there tomorrow, drjoe.com. And we have audios, we have videos, and so you don't want to miss a day. You don't want to miss a show because every show is always fun and always informative and always new. And if you have questions and I didn't get to them, you can go through the website, drjoe.com, and send them to me there if you'd like. Do me a favor, follow us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram because we live stream a lot of our shows and you get to see my pretty face and Garrett's pretty face and Ahmad's pretty face and Justin's. We haven't shown Justin's pretty face yet. We've got to get Justin's pretty face
when
out
did
here.
They see me?
We turned the camera when you were watching the football game before.
Oh yeah, you were going crazy.
Yeah, we were watching you.
Candid camera.
That's right. Yeah, good thing you didn't scratch or pick or anything, you know. So that's true. We got to be careful with that when we turn the camera on. But you can watch us, and we videotape these and put them on our website as well. We put a lot of good information on Facebook and Instagram, so make sure you follow us on both of those. And do me a favor, send me your email address, because we send out newsletters which have a lot of good information. A lot of times we have recipes. We have special hints that we don't give out on the shows. We have specials sometimes. We may have a breakout lecture that we're going to give just for the folks that are on our newsletter group. And so if you want to be one of the cool kids, send us your email address. I'll never give it out. We don't sell it or anything. Don't worry about it. And we talked about the weight loss program. I know somebody else called in, didn't want to go on the air about it. Say, Dr. Joe, tell us more about the doctor-supervised weight loss program. It's pretty awesome. It's a great way to jumpstart your protocol, and then we hold your hand once we get you jump-started into getting into a more natural, better lifestyle, I guess I should say. And that's available on the website, drjoe.com. All the supplements are, but the weight loss, you might want to call the office at 844-44-Dr.Joe when we're not on the air, and you can talk to Kayla or Tara, and they will get you all set up there. We were talking about dysbiosis. That's a big fancy word. That means the bacteria in your colon, it's called the flora, are messed up. If you, like we said earlier, if you swim in chlorine swimming pools, if you drink a lot of chlorinated water, if you eating commercial meats and dairy products with antibiotics in it, if you're using fluoride in your toothpaste, which I'm not a fan of, this can start killing off the bacteria in your colon. And so that's why we have Dr. Joe's Probiotics. And that's a supplement that helps recolonate your colon. Now, the Super Greens, the essential source, have probiotics and they have prebiotics in them. Prebiotics are the food that feed the probiotics. You can't utilize prebiotics, but your bacteria digest it and use it, and then they help your digestive system, your immune system. It's really, really important to keep the bacteria in your colon normal. And so all the supplements we talk about, Super Greens, the essential source, vitamin D, nitric oxide, adrenal support, all those are on the website, drjoe.com. We talked earlier, and I know a lot of people tune into shows at different times, but I know when I can't stop eating. Again, people say we're talking about what's stopping you from losing weight. And when I can't stop eating, my stomach, I know, is pushed up against my diaphragm. And that's the first symptom I get. Then if it goes too long, I start having rapid heart rate because the same nerve that controls the stomach controls the heart. It's called the vagus nerve. And when my stomach acts up, even when I was a kid, I had this problem forever. I remember my heart beating, ba-bump, 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 and then stopping. And I remember laying in bed going, my heart just stopped. Oh, there it goes again. Okay, it's beating again. Obviously, I didn't die. But the vagus nerve is a really, really, really important nerve. And if the digestive system isn't working properly, it can irritate the vagus nerve, which can then cause malfunction across the board. So really important. If the stomach is up against the diaphragm, we pull it down. If you don't know what to do about that, if you go to my website, drjoe.com, under my blog, I think the first article is actually on the techniques we use on that. And it's pretty powerful stuff. So we work on the nervous system, making sure chiropractically there's no pinched nerves. So that can cause neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, headaches, blurred vision. Nerves also control organs. 90% of the nerves don't feel pain. They control the organs. We check those as well. We check the diet. And by the way, if bones are out of place, they will wear out. Of everything I've ever taught you, the only promise I can make you is if you have a bone out of place, any bone, it's going to wear out. You will develop arthritis, osteoarthritis. So getting the bones back in place is really important for multiple reasons. And this is why we have multiple clinics, because patients will complain. Well, Dr. Joe, I'm on the south side of Atlanta. I'm on the north side of Atlanta. So we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. We accept most insurances. Some insurances have out-of-network benefits, in-network benefits. Sometimes they just make you pay a copay. So if we don't see our name on an insurance list, that doesn't mean that you're not covered in our office. And do this. Don't let the insurance companies dictate your health care. I've had many patients I've known over the years die because, well, my insurance wouldn't cover it. Well, you needed it. I don't care if your insurance covers it or not, you need it. And if you get a normally functioning nervous system, normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition, that's the cheapest insurance you'll ever have. And it works really, really well. I do want to cover intermittent fasting. This is something a lot of times people hit the wall when they're dieting. Dr. Joe, I don't know why I'm hitting the wall. I did everything right. I was doing great. Whatever it was, whether it was a planned diet or a ketogenic diet or a plant-based diet, I hit a wall. What I want you to do is consider intermittent fasting, and this is how you do it. Everybody, from this moment on, needs to not eat for 12 hours a day. Now, that's easy. If you have dinner at 5 o'clock, you don't eat again until 5 o'clock in the morning or later. If you have dinner at 7 o'clock, which is too late, by the way, you don't have breakfast till 7 o'clock in the morning. And so for 12 hours, I want you to not eat. And what's going to happen is the first 8 hours, your body is burning the meal you ate. After that, you start becoming a fat-burning machine. So with intermittent fasting, you do that every day anyway from now on. But I want you to take 2 or 3 nights a week, and I want you to skip dinner. I did that last night, and I'm doing it tonight. And so I had a late lunch both days around 2 o'clock, and I said, I don't have to have dinner tonight. I'm fine. And so skip dinner, drink water if you need to, make sure you stay hydrated. And then the next morning when you wake up, start with Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, maybe some fruit, eating light. And that can oftentimes jumpstart the weight loss issues. Do it even if you're not trying to lose weight, because you'll feel so much better when you start doing it. Now, the first 2 or 3 times you do it, you're going to be starving. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it through the whole morning. You will, I promise. And then after a few days, you're going to go, this is so easy, and I feel so good when I skip dinner. I need to do this more often. You're going to save money, feel great. It's off the chart. And then we get into the advanced stages. You just eat in 1 8-hour period a day. You pick that 8-hour period, that's when you eat. And the rest of the day, you don't eat. You drink water, of course. But that's the advanced stuff. Let's see if we can just start with 12 hours a day. I want you to cut out eating for 12 hours a day, every day. And then I want you to cut out dinner 2 or 3 nights a week and see how you do. And once you get used to it, I'm telling you, you're just going to love it. So that's called intermittent fasting. And that gives the body a break. Because the number 1 consumer of energy we have is romance. We keep it clean. It's a family show. The number 2 consumer of energy is digestion. And we're all digesting all day, every day. So when you finally give the digestive system a break, it's amazing what happens. And then you add the good supplements like the Super Greens, the Essential Source, the vitamin D. And then, folks, if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, if you've ever been in a car accident, ever, if the car was damaged, you were damaged, stop suffering needlessly. People say all the time, why didn't I do this sooner? I suffered for so long, and they regret not doing it. So if you want to come see us, follow our treatment plan. That's really important because that's how you're going to get the results. And go to the website, drjoe.com. You can do it right online or give us a call at 844-44-DR-JOE. Hey, folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for telling your friends. I do appreciate that. We'll catch you next time.
Atlanta's 24-hour breaking news, weather, and traffic is on News 95.5 and AM 750. And anywhere you go with the WSB radio app. WSB. Depend on it.
Give the gift that never stops giving and start saving today for college with Path to College 529 savings accounts. Visit ga529.com for more details. Brought to you by TIAA-CREF.
A leaky roof can cause a serious health threat to you and your family. Water buildup inside your home can lead to mold. A roof can leak for a long time without any visual signs. Quite often, by the time you see water inside your home, your roof has already been leaking for quite a while. Even a small leak can lead to mold. Dr. Joe Esposito here. Mold-related sickness and symptoms include things like respiratory illness, asthma, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, headaches, and a lot more. I recommend you get a free roof analysis from Findlay Roofing. They can find and repair minor issues before they become major problems. When it comes to roofing, I'll give you the same advice I give my patients. Get to the cause of the problem. Findlay Roofing installed a roof at my home, and you can trust them with yours.